Right, episode 37 of Rubber Down. This is a different one. I'm away for work, so we're all webcamming and doing our thing. But what a week of sprint car racing we still had. Perth Motorplex, Ripper Show, Premier Speedway's opener. I was there. Wow, I love Premier Speedway again. It's up in my top notch. A lot of stuff happened. The NASCARs was cool. There's no real intros today. I'm flying red hot on a laptop, but of course today's episode is brought to you by Eliminator Race Wings. There's distributors all around the country: Perth, Tasmania, Queensland, New South Wales, and I believe there's South Australia. I'm just trying to remember everything. I really appreciate their support for this podcast. It was our first sponsor, and I can't thank Frank and the team from Eliminator Race Wings. Such a good support for us being as our first sponsor. But boys, how are we? What's going on?
Yeah, good. Interesting weekend. It was my first weekend in a fortnight watching from home. So wasn't at a track, but wasn't travelling. That was probably the one benefit of the weekend. Didn't have to get on a plane for 4.5 hours or in a car for 4.5 hours. But yeah, some good racing all weekend, and sort of two top dogs in sprint car racing around Australia sort of got the win in both Perth and Premier. We've obviously Jock, back to vintage Jock down in Warrnambool. And then over in Perth, the Premier Motorsport team of Dayne Kingshott and the boys getting the win over there.
Yeah, for sure. And we will start with that because Ty is decked out with Maddington Toyota, which is a huge support for Western Australia sprint car racing. Marcel hooked us up with those tees. That is a gangster tee. Shout out to Marcel, what they do. But Ty, will start in Perth, and obviously the big talking point was Callum Williamson, who was points leader after round one. Motor went kaboom, and I think it was a brand new motor, like not even 12 laps in, which is not what you want to see. And it was nearly all over there for the team, but they got back, and he got on the horse.
Yeah, it's a really poor, unfortunately poor start for them, but it was killer to see them just make best of the night. It was a real damage control sort of night, I feel like, for them, and they made the best of it for sure.
Another talking point, Binny, was some of the restarts. A bit, people not going versus, I think Jock Goodyer got very hard done by at the start of the feature. He was really good all night in the Monty car, and to say I wasn't cheering on Jai going, get that Monty thing to the front, I'd be lying. It's Ripper. But yeah, it was, and then of course he got caught up in that incident with a bit of Inglis and the Newson incident, which, I thought Inglis was ripping hard and just tagged the wall. And, he's had a great start to the season, but, Binny, that too is going to be at the pointy end when it comes to points racing. They're probably one of the best points racing teams. And I still think in the country, if we had a World Series sprint car, the Premier Motorsport would be pushing a top 5 in a national series with just how they work as a team.
Yeah, 100%. And you can see why they've been the series champ the last 2 years, because they just know how to, even on a bad night, they know how to finish. And to be honest, the Williamson Motorsport guys did a good job of getting Cal back out there. No heat racing, no qualifying for those boys. They were just straight out in that sort of last chance dash or whatever they call it. It was good to see come from sort of the back in that to sort of middle of the pack, and then to drive up to second. It was my BK Performance Race Products performance of the week.
For sure, brother. It was very. You can't not put that as a BK Racing Performance Products moment of the week, similar to how Dayne was put to the rear and drove back all the way. Yeah, he didn't get to second, but that was probably not a hard night for that team. And Cal put it on a ripper performance, and probably to that team on that night, that probably felt like a win to get all the way back there. And so Ty, let's talk about just Perth Motorplex again. Is after the weekend, I know we're 2 rounds in, but we said there's probably 4 to 5 guys for that championship. But I think Cal and Dayne just went, nah, guys, I think it's us to fight between. No offense to everyone, like cow moving through. Manders was back, which was good to see. We didn't know. That car was nowhere near electric as what I thought it was the first week. Taylor Millen still got a good result, but those two cars just were like, wow.
Yeah, definitely. I feel I don't want to say it because I want there to be a few more cars mixed in, but I feel like if the season just keeps going the way it's going, it's just going to be a Dayne win one week, it's going to be a Cal win the next week, and it's just going to be back and forth for the whole year or the whole season, sorry. And unless something drastic happens, like a DNF or a missed race for whatever reason, I don't really see much changing. Unfortunately for the showmanship of the race of the series, but it's good for them. Like it's good for them.
Well, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like it was very lucky for if they were serious about the championship, Williamson Motorsport. If that motor goes at high limit time or a Bunbury time when there's Americans there, you don't just make the feature. There's more cars. You got to run a B. You got to. So there's not that. Okay, we've got time to do all this and make sure it's good, and we get to make the show for points. Like as we said, you drop a feature in the series, it's very hard to come back from. So yes, you can start it and get damage and you get points, but it's one of those nights where they've got a big season coming up. It sounded like a really bad motor let go, like not a quick fix. They've got Corey Day coming over as well. They've got to have motors for that too. So, hopefully they've got enough and they can still have a strong season with coming east and all that stuff because we want to see, W3 ripping on the East Coast, We've done a lot of work with them and built a good relationship. They're Ripper family and it just sucks to see. But it sucks to anyone. If it was anyone's motor, not just them. You know what I mean? Like, it's so early in the season for something like that to happen. Another one that was good, Binny, was Kendrick again, was good. And it did look like he fell back late. And then we heard a bit, maybe a shock or something with damage. But I'll tell you what, the changes they've made, Kendrick Racing are putting themselves at the pointy end. That top 5 there look like they're back in that picture every week.
I'm telling you, it's the change in that car, like the paint scheme on that car. That gold and white is going to send them up front. And I'm going to put it here now. I reckon they get a race win this year. They'll get a feature win this year. I don't know when.
I agree with that because they're showing... It looks like their car at the start of the race is really good. Both opening nights. And normally teams say it's opposite when the fuel load comes off. We can't get the start. But their car has looked really good at the start of both races. And I won't be surprised if, they, like you said, a win and a few podiums are coming that way over the series. And maybe even, their car's good when they travel to these not Perth Motorplex tracks again. They were always very good at Bunbury, on a West Coast team. So, a ripper performance there by the team, Williamson. But again, Cricky, they just got the job done. It was plain and simple. What was the podium there, guys, again? Just real quick. It was Dayne, Callum, and who got third?
Manders.
So, again, that's a great still. That was around the picture we said early on, but that was a great result for them after all that controversy the first week. It looks like maybe they were getting a bit of a holiday. That was the word on the street. They weren't nominated. All to do with that TC device, the whatever team pulling it out. It was a lot of circling on that. But for them to bounce back and get a podium, they might not have been fighting for a win or whatever, but if they can keep their nose and get their car back to where they had it the first week, man, maybe it won't be a 2-horse race, which I hope we don't see. And he did win the Speed Car Championship, ripped it, sent it, so good on Cater Manders for that accomplishment again. The Golding, he raced some speed cars in America this season for them, and I think that was a bit of a deal sweetener, like, hey, I get to race speed cars and midgets as much as sprint cars, and that's what he wanted to do, so good on him. Boys, so BK performance of the night over there, Binny, the same as Cow, which I can't not knock that. Ty, over the whole night, was there anyone else who sort of impressed you, or just was there a moment you thought, like, that was pretty cool?
I have to probably give it to Inglis. Like, up until the moment where he hit the wall and all that. Like, he was back to almost the Jimmy that we all used to know when he was in the Diamond Bay car. Like, it was good to see him back up at the front. Like, we know he had a few struggles once he left Diamond Bay, went back into his own car last year. But yeah, just to see Jimmy back up the front was really cool to see, and it would be killer for his family. I know he's a real family orientated, like, racer sort of thing. So yeah, definitely. I reckon, long story short, Jimmy probably would be my BK Performance Parts Performance of the Week.
Yeah, make it his own.
Yeah.
I thought we were all locked on it, but okay. I'm BK
Is
of the night.
that BK Racing Performance Parts? That's it. Sorry, my bad.
There it is on screen. Thank you to the team for our second sponsor ever. Thank you so much. They do Ripper race suits, helmets, whatever you need race gear, they'll sort you out. So yeah, that's cool. Perth's done and dusted, I think. Now, the only thing I think that is going to ruffle a few feathers in Perth with the series will be the Diamond Bay machine and James McFadden in the A1. I think they're two cars that'll very roughen up the scene, plus maybe take some wins away because they're great performance cars. But then, you know, that adds more cars potentially to the field. Not potentially, Cody. But, I mean, you know, racing for the wins and accidents can happen because James McFadden and Kerry Madsen aren't going to give you shit. They don't care about your series. They're there to win races. So I can't wait to see those guys. Yeah. And if the Monty car looks like it's going very well with Jai Corbett now, I can't wait to see what Aaron Wrights is going to do to that thing. It's going to be sick. Yeah, so look, High Limit's going to be juiced again. We've already gone through that. I can't wait to, you know, that builds up a bit more over the next few weeks. But let's swing into Warrnambool, Binny. I was there on the ground. Man, Warrnambool opening night is something special. It's some of the fastest racing you'll see. Qualifying was good. Doing about 10.7s, 10.8s. I think Jock did a low one. Jock looked ready to go from the get-go. Like, he looked dialed. Like, as soon as they got the thing out of the trailer, it was like a zap. Brock Hallett started off strong too. But I also think, guys, like, the new tyre was the big talking point again. So the new right rear tyre is just a different compound and how it reacts. And just a lot of teams were struggling to find a lot of, like, the words I was hearing was like, we just can't feel it. Multiple drivers. Anyone who talk, I just can't feel it. But you can tell Jock Goodyer and Brock Hallett have done literally, Jock's done 11 races this year, Brock's done already 5. They've had the laps to get used to it, you know, so, and it showed. They were near the pointy end. They got the podium, plus Jamie Veal. Veely has done, I don't know how many races Veely's done. Let me have a look here. I've got this thing. Jamie's done 7 as well. So there you go. A lot of laps, and he's had a top 5 in 5 of them, and top 6. Yeah. So I think over the next another month, there's a lot of racing coming up, leading into around the Napa and the Milduras and Perth Motorplex. I do think a lot of teams are going to start firing again, just once they get this new tyre under themselves. And but Jock Goodyer, he won the opening night last year. It was like an identical race for me watching it there live, guys. It was like, yep, he's out of here. The rest are racing for second. Veely did on a few restarts were good. James McFadden in the Carroll Motorsports car. It was a family ordeal there, racing with his dad on the Spenners again. Looked great too. Said he was very uncomfortable too. Like, he's won a heat race, but he was like, I'm very uncomfortable right now. He goes, it feels like I'm standing up like this, standing in the car with how the tyres were. And he said he made a few calls in qualifying and they went shit. So he said, I just gave up and now my dad's on the Spenners. He can do it. Which that's legit what he said. And he was fast after that. So he was looking good. I definitely think he was a second, and maybe if they had a restart, had something for Jock. But he said 5 laps in, I think it was one of the front torsion bars came out of the car completely, he said. Flew out.
Yeah.
So that's sick.
He goes straight away. Yeah, I knew something was wrong when my left rear was in my ear. or something like that. So he just pulled in, I think, too hard to drive, and it's not like a championship race or anything. Literally said the whole car was brand new. So like he goes, we're lucky that they didn't even fly off into a wheel and put me in the wall or anything like that. Jamie Ville's strong, Brock Hallett's strong, but there was a few guys who really stood out to me, and one of them will get my BK Racing performance of the night. When I say performance of the night, I just mean from the start of the night, he was really fast, and I'd never heard of him, like, at all. And that's not offence to him. He is very new to sprint car racing from what I've heard, which was the S80 of Bradley Vaughan. I hadn't heard of him on my radar, and he just rips out a 10.869 in qualifying, and he out-timed J-Mac in his qualifying group. J-Mac was third with an 11. Bradley Vaughan was a 10.869, and Jock was just electric, 10.6. No one was close to him in qualifying. He was really good, raced really well as well. And another guy who just keeps... I thought it was just in Darwin. I'm not going to lie, didn't know much of him. Just thought it was a Darwin, not many people there and stuff like that. But he really shone, and I think he could be a dark horse for a lot of features this year, is Luke Storer in the 98, the last car that Luke Dillon drove. Mate, he is good. Like, races well, quick. So yeah, he was another one. But yeah, BK Racing performance products moment of the night was I'm going to say Bradley Vaughan. Just was really quick out of the gate, and I was like, wow, that's cool. Other guys like Parker Scott showed some great speed again. Another talking point was it was Ryan Newton's race again, Binny. Ryan Newton's race, first race back in Australia. Now, there was a lot of laps in America. Didn't start off the night well. A bit slow out of the gate. But yeah, what were your thoughts on his night?
Yeah, it's tough coming back from sort of the big tracks he was running over in America and sort of adapting back to the Australian conditions. And another thing that you got to do coming back from over there is you got to adjust to the races that you're racing over here. And we speak to a lot of drivers, and even speaking to the Perth drivers that first night, we were there for round one, and them saying, you just got to get used to the guys the first night's out and second night's out, because they all drive different. But yeah, I think he had an encouraging night, and it was definitely a night where you had to sort of take some positives out of it. Like you saw he's driving the B main, and it was awesome. Come through to get to the transfer spot, and then he looked rapid at the start of the feature race. And then, unfortunate to end the way he did, but I think, I still have him down as winning the Australian title this year.
He's your pick, eh? He's your borderline pick.
Yeah, he's my pick.
Ty's pretty high on him too. I just think J-Mac's going to be the one to beat the Brady car. He loves borderline. That's my thing. It's going to be J-Mac, I think, the one to beat this year again. He looked in cruise control the other night still, and he wasn't comfortable at all. That guy can get in and drive anything, so that's cool to see. And it's really cool. You know what's also cool, guys? A lot of guys are starting to get merch bloody trailers. It's cool. It gives that American vibe. McFadden had one. I think Veely just had his van or whatever. You see cows in Perth, and Jock's got one. I know they didn't have it there that night, but it is given that vibe of hell yeah, man. We got a little shirt alley. Not.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid, when the Americans used to come to Parramatta, you had Steve Kinder's wife would stand there, Donna, or everyone knew her name, and she'd be like, "Yeah, you want some Steve Kinder shirts?" Stand there, and there'd just be Steve Kinder shirts everywhere. Sammy Swindell's wife would do the same. But that's because they did that back then in the 90s and 2000s. No one did that here in Australia. And I think now with the high limit, you see they have a designated. You cannot join the series unless you have a fucking merch trailer, I think. You have to have one. In the alley. I think you have to have one. So, I think, even when you go to...
I think Rico had a minivan.
Rico was one of the first to do it, but what I'm saying is even if you go to the outlaw shows, they don't let the high limit guys set up their shit, and vice versa. Like, they're pretty cutthroat. So at the Knoxville Nationals, I think the high limit guys had to set up across the road, out of the venue. Like on the main strip. They're not allowed in. Like, fuck off, you can't sell your shit here. It's at the Knoxville Nationals. So, anyway, I think that was my first F-bomb. That was good of me. No, I've been like, normally swearing like a trooper. But all right, Benny, well, that's Warrnambool. Jock Goodyer looks ripper. I do have a few stats here. I know people are statty. I do love it. Jock Goodyer this year, 11 races, 4 wins, 9 top 5s and 10 top 10s. So he's only missed the top 10 once. Okay. Lockie McHugh, 7 wins. 7 races, 4 wins, 5 top 5s and 6 top 10s. Brock Hallett, 5 races, 3 wins, 4 top 5s, 4 top 10s. And the rest of the drivers have only had 1 win, who have won a race. And yeah, so there's guys now in 4s and 3s, but I think it will show. The guys with the most laps right now have their stuff together. Tyre wise, grip wise, everything. So, Binny? What's on the list next? So I know what's racing this weekend, but you've got the list today. I want you to just move on to what we got next. What's going on next?
Yeah. So this weekend you got USC Championship continue up in Toowoomba, and you got Dubbo. So round 2 of the New South Wales Sprintcar Series out there. Bit of a smaller field out at
Dubbo. It's only it's Canberra, isn't it?
No, it's Dubbo.
It's not Dubbo. Look again, big dog. I'll tell you right now, it's not Dubbo. Come on.
I'm telling you right now, looking last night.
It's not Dubbo.
Just have a look, big fella.
I know it's ACT. I talked to a driver.
I'm telling you, boys, it's Blacktown.
Anything past the West Coast, you're like, whatever.
They're racing at Dubbo Speedway weekend.
Well, boys, let's get it right here. It's at Parramatta.
It's ACT. I wish it was at Parramatta. Don't do that to me.
No, I misread it.
Yeah, you said the race is at Dubbo. You read the title and didn't read through. It's at ACT Speedway and they've got 16 cars nominated. What up, all right, Binny? So, yeah. So, go on. USC, ACT. What else is on this weekend?
That's all I had.
Yep. Okay. Well, there's Avalon on as well. Sprintcar Jackpot is on this weekend. And I've actually found this really cool site that people need to go to. It's called SprintcarRatings.com. Does all America and Australia shit. I've got shown it today. It is killer. It is such a good site. So you go Australian 410s.
Is it an app or a site?
No, just website. SprintcarRatings.com. It's awesome. So this weekend around Australia and New Zealand, ACT, like Binny said, Avalon, Sprintcar Fire Derby. In New Zealand, Bay Park is on, and then Toowoomba is on in Australia as well. So Claper View have Avalon and Toowoomba on. There is no live stream for Bay Park in New Zealand, as I can see here. And ACT Speedway. So the 2 live streams are Claper View this weekend. I think the race meeting to watch this weekend, I think, will be Toowoomba. They just got their shit together, Toowoomba. Hey, like the live streams are cool. The car count, I know the guy to beat is Lockie McHugh, so everyone's going there to see if Lockie can keep winning. So I think it'll be a strong field. Okay, we got to stop saying I've got to stop saying mate. It's one of those things. But boys, the other thing is, Binny, I'll throw to it before. I know you might not have had it on your list, but we'll stick to sprint cars. Western Sydney Speedway. All right, so it is the new name for a track at Eastern Creek. Now, this is the 3rd name for a new track after Parramatta City Speedway. Now, I don't care about another name change. I really don't. People were fussing online about, another name change. This place has had more name changes than bloody whatever, which is a lie.
Race events.
Duh. But I'm all for it. I just think certain places like Eastern Creek Speedway had its knocks, the issues. Sydney International Speedway, You can't tell me that in the figure of things, there's a positive thing. The negative outweighs the positive when you hear the name Sydney International Speedway. Now, I don't think that, but if you just be a realist, yeah. And whatever they got with their issues with previous owners or lease people, let's be real, the name had to be changed. Now, I don't care what it is. You can't name it Sydney Speedway because that was what Parramatta used to name it before Avalon or whatever. Western Sydney Speedway, the logo looks pretty clean. It's not bad. I have heard some things today from people from the track. They're pretty positive still. They have reshaped it. Apparently, this is the shape that it was supposed to be all along. Right? That is legit words. So the track is the shape it was supposed to be before even Eastern Creek Speedway ran their first lap. Not what Sydney International Speedway did, not what Eastern Creek Speedway did. I'm not saying this as to the people who ran the tracks, I'm just stating a fact. This apparently is what the shape was supposed to be. Now, I think that means flatter bottom still goes up, but apparently this also means there's the right amount of war showing for safety reasons or to make the government happy. Apparently this has to do with the right depth of clay across the whole way now, where before recent developers of the track just shaped it whatever and the depths were wrong or something. That's what I've been told. I don't know this. But yeah, so apparently it's supposed to be the spec that the government originally wanted or was agreed on. Yeah, they're trying to go back to basics from what I've told and try to get it right. And they're positive. Now, there's still a lot of loopholes to go through with making everyone happy. But look, they got a really big show, I think, on the 3rd of January. They're really trying to make that the marquee show and really have a round or two before then, I think, to get it right. Now, they've got the bike show that's still going to be on. I know there's a lot of people excited about the bikes. Me, I've never even seen a bike like that race in person. I wouldn't know. But apparently there's a lot of hype around this type of stuff. Boxing Day, hope it goes well for them. And it can add a different, maybe, audience coming back to the Speedway. I just hope it goes well. Now, Binny, we were there at some of the worst days. When I mean worst days, track destroying tyres, wings getting hurt, everyone upset at each other. And this is not me trying to deter people from going. This is just, I'm talking in the past. Now, Binny, you will say it too. We obviously come from a Perth Motorplex and go straight to Sydney sometimes. And when it was bad, it was bad. But, what are your positives out of what I just said? Or it's our home track, bro. We want it to be good, yeah?
Yeah, in the end, I'm just happy that Sydney still has a speedway to go to. Because it could very easily be, sorry guys, it's too hard, we're going to knock it down, or we're going to change it into something else. And who knows what would have taken over if they didn't get it sorted out and stuff like that. In the end, we're just got to be happy that we've still got a speedway to go to. And you've got to give it a chance. And I know probably the last few years we've heard that and we've been told to give each management that was looking after the track when it was Eastern Creek Speedway, Sydney International Speedway, we got told to give them a chance. And I know things didn't work out, but we've really got to give it a chance because in the end, this is our home track. Well, anyone that's from New South Wales, it's your home track. I'm just excited to know that we're going to have sprint car racing back in Sydney. Because number one, bit selfish. I'm only 10 minutes away, so it's not much travel on a weekend. And I know that a lot of drivers would be, very welcome to have sort of a shorter travel time than heading out not that it's a bad thing, but heading out 4.5 hours to Dubbo on the weekend. A lot of them still have full-time jobs that they work during the week. So it is a lot on the teams and the drivers to get all their stuff out there. But yeah, I'm just excited. I can't wait to see the cars back on track. Can't wait to see what the track looks like now that it's been sort of redeveloped and shaped the way that it should have been from the very beginning. And yeah, bring on January 3rd when all the big guys are there for Power Tour.
For sure. Like when I say it was supposed to be this way, I still think the shape Marty and the Wilmingtons had it was epic. Right, that was gangster, and it was some cool racing at Sydney. Like when Binny, when the place was perfect, you were in awe. Like, oh, how good! But when it was bad, it was like, oh my god, what are we doing? Like that's how it felt. Yeah, Ty, go.
Just looking at some of the notes, because we're professionals at this podcasting game, we take notes.
Let's go.
Some of the notes we took down, E.G. Binny took down, for dates that they've already got locked in. So they've got a test and tune this Friday.
Yes, which...
So we'll get a preview of the track on Friday.
Wait a second. Binny will be on the ground. I have got word. It is a go-ahead. So I'm in Queensland. Binny is going to be on the ground. Now, I have been told Binny's going to be checking it out. I said if there's some drivers there and they get their thoughts. We're not there to pick faults. We just want to be there to try see what's going on. We've heard not a lot now. Yeah, and Binny wants to see some race and loves smelling some methanol. But I want to be honest too. Like, I know this is weird to say, but man, the last management plus, I'll say it, the Boldies, everyone knew. It doesn't matter what happened, but man, I was negative towards it too, yeah? Like, let's be honest, from what we know. But the social media punishment when it's not going your way, man, that must have been tolling. It must have been, hard. And the social media is a brutal game. And, social media is a lot of people that will never have the balls to do anything anyway or stand up and help. They're the first to crucify. But, we've always been we tried to be the positive side of social media, trying to show you how cool sprint car racing can be or, it's like, let's be real, like at the end of the day, everyone's human and everyone has emotions. Like, man, they took a punishment. So I hope they're still doing okay mentally. I don't know them personally, but I hope they're okay. That's all I'll say on that. Like, that's anyone, man. Like, even the Wilmingtons, I hope they're doing ripper too. They gave us our first crack ever at filming on tracks, and they did an awesome job with Sydney. I don't think that, yes, it wasn't great at most of the time, and that was them doing their best, but I still think what they did, we have great memories of those moments. There were some really great moments at Sydney International Speedway. There's a test and tune this week. So I think that's open to a lot of classes. Binny is going to be on the ground. I have got word he's good to go. So just go have some fun, Binny, and just what I reckon we try, Binny, is just film from normal spots, and maybe we'll put the footage next to each other and see if it looks different. You know what I mean? Like maybe some outside the wall shit, inside. If there's a driver if you had a GoPro, you could have hooked her up, but you don't. I probably got them all on me. But yeah.
That's all right, man. I got cable ties. I just strapped myself onto a wing.
Tough.
But no, no.
Like AI videos.
This ain't fucking AI, boys. Yeah. I'm keen. I really wish I was down there to just go and not even film, but just do these ones. But Binny, I hope you report, and I I don't know whether to maybe pump on your stories or just save the footage and maybe we'll discuss it or whatever. But yeah, I do want Benny on the mic. You got to be interviewing, mate. You got to step up, big dog. Hey guys, we're down here at Western Sydney Speedway for the first fucking official crack, and I'm down here. You know what we need you to do? You know what we need you to do? Go stand up at that top box where they film and go, well, I'm here today at Western Sydney Speedway for their first hit out of the night. Let's see how some of the teams think about it. Anyway, but no, so Ty, you were saying, and I'm just getting it up now because their Facebook page is hard to bloody find. Okay, I've got it. So it's on social, it's Western Sydney Speedway, guys. Benny, what are you doing with your shit? So the Test and Tune is official this Friday. You can nominate. The pit gates open at 4. Test and Tune is 6 till 10:30 at night. Wow. So yeah, they've got the opening season is the 22nd of November. I don't know. It doesn't look like sprint cars are on the card there. They haven't said. But their first round, and they're doing that Hi-Tec oil series still, Sprint Car Super Series, is the 6th of December. And I don't know, like we heard, that wasn't with the Sprint Car New South Wales Club. We still don't know who it's with, what it is. I don't know. I didn't ask those questions from who I spoke to today. I just said, how's it all going? How are you? It was a cool phone call. Like I tried to ring him today, and then it was like, I'll ring you back, and then got a call just before the pod. I just wanted to get their words on it, but they said, no, they're doing their absolute best. They want to see sprint car racing back. They're working with the dragway. There is no sublease anymore. Like, it is where it is. The drags are having it, and then they're running it still. So let's just see. Hopefully it's positive, because I'll tell you what, I just did the old trek from Warrnambool to Queensland, and damn, we need a speedway in between that big trip. Man. Because the teams, it's just the laws of stopping and only driving 12 hours and 4-hour breaks and whatever. Like, it's no joke that we need more speedways in between. Because that's out of control. Like, I hope Dubbo gets another go and then Sydney gets another go. But, here we go.
I reckon we need a speedway right on the Nullarbor.
Yeah, that'll work real well. It'll be like, we'll get massive publicity for our pod on that. Rub it down.
Who's gonna watch the kangaroos and the emus?
Yeah, good luck.
Wait, don't diss the kangaroos.
Good luck.
There's no one there.
Yeah, good luck getting a live stream out there. Jesus. That's Sydney and all that type of stuff. But I think that's all our sprint car racing. Yeah, Benny, you got more? Or what are we doing? No, you good? All right, let's move on. What do you got else on the list, brother? Oh, go.
You got world finals at Charlotte this weekend for Outlaws. Is that this weekend?
Yes, it's this weekend coming. Good. Thank you for bringing that up, actually. So, we know David Gravel's won. He can't do anything wrong unless he has a migraine and goes to bed and forgets about it. The only thing I will say is there's a few other factors in this. There's some high limit guys. There's a lot of high limit guys travelling, so they want to go win. But Dyson Pursley's first run in the 9 car for Case Can Racing. All eyes on him as the torch has been passed to him. He's a very young kid. Case Kane Racing, given a crack. He's going to be in the black car, the 9. So it's not the Napa car. I don't know whether he's going to have the Napa car next year or. I don't know, but he is in the 9 black car this weekend. I've seen him on their socials rip it off, and it was Percy on the wing. Other things is it's Sheldon Hordenshield's last go in the NOS car. He still hasn't announced where he's going or who he's racing for next season. So that's pretty cool. Well, not cool. I mean, it's one of those things that it's a team that's been together for so long, and it's officially over. The NOS and Sheldon Hordenchild deal. So we know next year. I don't know. Have they said who's in that car, Benny? Yeah? No?
Don't believe so. I may be wrong.
I don't think they have. I've heard a few whispers, but I'm not going to put my name out there on it because I look like a flog. So we don't know who's in the 18 car. That's still around, but obviously I think we're going to know Sheldon's going to follow Ripper, his old crew chief, wherever that situation is. Normally they had a good team together. So yeah, I think another thing, Outlaws. I reckon there's going to be less teams signed up next year to Outlaws. That's my vibe. I think
100%.
we're seeing the high limit grow at a rate that's pretty cool. Like there's a lot of incentive, guys. So I learned something the other day. So you know how they run that midweek series, guys? Like that midweek points? You don't have to be a signed up high limit driver to sign up to that. That's a separate series in itself. It's still high limit points. But that's why Anthony Macri and that, they run that. So, but if you're an Outlaw driver, you can't even sign up to that because Outlaws only let you do 4 shows. Because that's Outlaws being flogs.
What, you can only do 4 high limit shows if you sign.
You're only allowed to do, no, not even high limit, any 4 races outside of the World of Outlaws series.
Oh.
That's a way that they try to keep their drivers, which I think is absolutely stupid. Why would you limit someone trying to earn a living when they still are going to be at every event that you want them at? They're not going to show, they're signed up. I know they want them to keep all the idea of like David Gravel's an outlaw, he only needs to be on dirt racing. But like, what the heck, bro? Like, honestly, what the heck? I think, like, no, high limit, go make your money as much as you want. Race where you want. That is just I think whatever that rule is very sour and shit. I think as a fan, like, we get ripped of more bigger fields all the time. Like, you look at the Tusky, you look at the good high limit shows, there's no outlaw guys there, because I think Buddy Kofoid did one and he won. It was a midweek show when Corey Day flipped his tits off in the fence and Buddy won. But like, that's it. I can't really remember seeing David Gravel run in a high limit show. Can you guys remember that? And if he did, it's rare as shit.
I do actually.
What show? Oh no, Eldora. See, they saved the big Eldora shows, the Joker ones and all that shit. I think they run there, or the Four Crowns maybe. I don't know if they clash, but I don't know, man. I just think I think it's a shitter thing. But I mean, they do 90 shows or 80 shows. Like, they need to add more. But and there's guys like Macri and Ryan Timms. I don't think they need to sign up to anything. They go and choose where they want, and they win the biggest shit. Yes, Benny.
All right. While we're on Outlaws, we know David Gravel's going to win. Right? Through 47 seasons, only 11 drivers can call themselves champion. Now, if that isn't telling you that there needs to be a playoff system or some change in that series, I don't know what is. But let me read you this stat. Right? Steve Kinzer, 690 feature wins, 20 championships. Semi Swindell, who is in second, 3 championships, 394 wins. And then you go down to Donny Schatz on 316 with 10 championships. That's crazy. Like, that top 3 over 300 wins, they're nearly, well, Kinzer's nearly 500 feature race wins clear of David Gravel, and David Gravel's dominating like the World of Outlaws at the moment. But like, I don't know, if only 11 drivers are winning your championship, you need to change it up. Otherwise, it's just, well, for me, I would find that stale and boring. You know who's going to be your driver that's going to win each championship each year. Yeah, I think it definitely needs change, and we've spoken about it time and time again. But when I saw that stat the other day on the World of Outlaws page, that just, threw me for 6, and I was like, yeah, that needs to change.
I'll go to you in a sec, Ty. But I clearly remember stating this like months ago, and you're like, I like it, like the heritage of it. And I was like, bro, like 5 guys have won. Like what are we doing? Like I gave up watching the Outlaws 6 months ago. Like I watched it for stats, but like it was over. Yeah. It was over. And you're like, oh, but in supercars, and in supercars just changed. I'm a bit sad. But F1, like I hope they don't change that. But like motorsport all has the same thing. There's passing of the torch moments. You know what I mean? Like, I do think now it's going to be incredibly hard, though, in the sport of sprint car racing to anyone to do what Donny Schatz did. Donny Schatz and Steve Kinser. I don't think anyone, maybe if the World of Outlaws run for the next 5 years and they get less cars, David Gravel will just win for the next 20 till he retires, maybe. But I'm saying we had the Brad Sweet era. He pissed off. But Gravel was closing. In those years, like when Donny was good, you had guys like Jason Myers, Darren Pittman, Sneak one. But you're saying one and Donny's come second. And I don't know if I'm wrong still, but I remember there was a time where when Steve Kinser was winning all his features, his prelim wins didn't count, Binny. They didn't count prelim features for like 20 years. So I don't know if that's now, but they've added them and now he's at 600, or he still has like another 200 on top of that. I'll have to look into that. Yeah. But I just think I'm a perfect example after watching Supercars. I've never watched Supercars until this year with the playoffs because I'm waiting for something to happen. I get it. I only need to focus on 3 drivers. Watching the NASCAR championship the other day, driving back from Warrnambool, I was stoked because it was like, guess what? I'm only watching Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson right now. I don't care who wins. The commentator, I don't even think they interviewed the motherfucker who won. I didn't know who won. They're like, Hamlin, Larson, Larson wins, and it was just all Larson doing burnouts. Like, when have you ever seen a guy do burnouts that doesn't fucking win a race? I've seen it all. Fourth or something. I've seen it all now. I don't even think the bloke who won did fucking burnouts. They probably went on the radio. Yeah, get off the track, mate. You didn't win the championship. Go away. It doesn't matter right now. Yeah, good on you for your first win. But yeah, Ty, what were you going to say?
10-4 rubber ducky. Well, I was going to say, I love the presentation, but I was going to back it up with we did exactly what Coates said. We did talk about this, and I'll agree. I've since changed my tone because I believe I said, and you could probably go back and find the clip. I'm pretty sure I said I didn't want to see it changed, and then you sent that to our group chat, and I said, boring. It's why I don't watch. Why am I going to watch something other than like Eldora, Knoxville Nats, and all these other like typically big races when I just know it's going to be a gravel fest 80% of the time. Like at least like when I turn on, if I watch Clay per View or something of Over East, it's not just going to be a Jock show. It's not just going to be a Jamie Veal show. It's not just going to be a McHugh show or a McFadden show. Like, it could be any one of their nights, or even over here. It's the same thing.
All right, I got
there's certain tracks.
Whoa. I'm going to be... This is a clip, ready? Anyone listen to the pod, you'll probably see this clip next week. If we had an Australian Sprint Car National Series, I would want playoffs. Stuff it. But is the competition... If we had the best in Australia at every track, would the series be close enough not to have playoffs, or would we have a runaway freight train, you think? Thoughts, Minnie?
It depends.
World fucking series. We had Dayne Kingshott, Callum Williamson, Taylor Milling, Jason Kendrick. You had Lockie McHugh, Jock Goodyer, Brock Hallett, Jamie Veal, James McFadden, Ryan Newton, Tate Frost. I can keep going. All Luke Oldfield. You have Daniel Pesca, Jordan Charge. I can name everyone. Marcus Dumsney, Matt Dumsney, Michael Stewart. Like, will we need a playoff system, or you think it'll be tight enough? Because McHugh went and smacked Speed Week, and then you got J-Mag and Jock can just win everything. But I think, as we're media now, and whatever, I would be frothing over a playoff series. I'd be frothing because every race till the last checkered flag has implications. You look at some of the World Series, some guys won it before they even went to Western Australia. It was that bad. But that was back then. I think, like, we're talking like 2012 onwards, but I think now some of the teams are pretty here, and with crashes and that, maybe you wouldn't need it, but I'd love a playoff series. Don't you think, Benny?
I think, yeah.
Oh, tight, go, one of you.
Oh, I was going to say, I think you have one regardless. I don't care how close the series is. You have one regardless. Because there could be a guy in 6 who needs some miracles, but he's still in the fight. Like, I reckon regardless, you just have one. I don't care.
What you just said is the argument why no one, maybe the drivers that think they can win a long-term point still don't want that, is because I've won 12 races this year, like what we said, Denny Hamlin and his NASCAR stuff, and has just never won a championship.
I think if it's a runaway season, you don't have one. Because if it's a runaway season like that, old mates just dominate.
You can't do that.
I don't know. This is too hard. You're gonna make me steam out the ears because I'm thinking too hard about this. I reckon it's good for the sport, but there obviously is its downsides. Like we've seen the Denny Hamlin downsides. Like he won 11 races or something this year, and he just has to sit in his car, watch Kyle do burnouts, and he sat there. Like
okay, but as a promoter's side, they would want.
Oh, you want it every day.
They want people through that gates to see the final race.
Yeah.
You can't tell me if the World Series or whatever we call it, let's say it doesn't finish in Perth once. Let's say it finishes at Premier Speedway. You can't tell me guys from Toowoomba might follow it down and take the caravan and go, well, every race we're going to go to, we're waiting to find out who the champion is. We're not worried. Like, let's say there's Toowoomba, Sydney, Avalon, borderline. By the time you maybe got to Sydney, it's pretty much locked up, and the guys just got to make every show and putt around.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd travel over east.
If you're trying to sell tickets, the playoff thing is the ticket fiend. Because you're also going to get fans who, let's say, love Lockie McHugh, love Jock Goodyer. Let's say they're both in there. Our guy has a chance tonight. We got to go. We're going to boo your guy, love your guy. Do you know what I mean? And I think as a fan, but I can completely see it from a teams. They're like, nah, we want to race for points. Like, every point matters. Because what happens if we do a playoff series and McHugh wins 8 in a row? There's no races left for someone to make the playoff. It goes back to points anyway. If that's right,
that's
Benny.
fair.
That's what they do in supercars and NASCAR. If someone wins all the races, it just goes back to the point series anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah, correct.
So you are watching both in case someone's on a hot streak.
I think
6-7?
6-7?
I think you need it. Nah. I don't know. I think you need to do more than 10 races to be worth doing a playoffs.
Oh, okay. That's not a bad shout. So you're saying
because otherwise, like you said,
isn't that long.
Just 2 points.
It probably wouldn't be. So maybe that wouldn't work here. Because the drivers don't have enough time to make the playoffs anyway.
Well, if you're over in WA, you've got, actually, to be fair, you've now got 4 tracks that they're going to this year. So you got 4 races in WA, which isn't too bad. You'd have, another 10 on the East Coast you could do?
Well, let's say we made it magical and it started in Darwin.
15.
It would. We go Darwin, Gladstone, Toowoomba. Hopefully they add in a Dubbo or a Nowra plus Sydney, so there's 5. Then you go down and got Avalon, Warrnambool, Borderline, Tolma, Murray Bridge. Have I forgot one? Binny? 6, 7?
Do you say?
Yeah.
Let's say like tracks that you could throw your Canberras in, but I doubt they're going to do that. You know what I mean? So you got 10 if you went all the way to Darwin. If not, you're probably looking at 8.
Put the Adelaide 500 in there because they would do that for tickets.
Yep, so 8 to 7 probably.
So you've got an absolute max of probably 12 to 14 races, depending where you squeezed a few extras in. That's before you do double ups, like 2-night weekends.
So, Binny, you remember World Series was only 14, 15 rounds, but they rarely had a double night, correct?
Yeah, correct. They normally only used to have that sort of double round up at Archerfield and then the double round over in Perth.
So you could easily just say it's a double round every weekend, and then you've got between 25 and 30 races there, and then it starts to become okay. Maybe there's no way some guy's winning 25 races out of a series, and if he does, you need to do whatever testing you can to him and his car and figure out what rocket ship he has put underneath his ass.
Hey, what are your guys' thoughts on? I don't know how it would work here. Maybe we don't have the demographic, but Friday night shows. Friday, Saturdays.
I think Sydney could make it work.
Why could Sydney?
I think that's where Sydney needs to capitalise.
I just think on a Friday night, you could have like that whole motorsport complex. So Sydney Motorsport Park, the Dragway, and the Speedway, they could all be running at the same time. And I know people are like, oh, no, you can't run roll racing while there's Speedway going on. I'm sorry, but roll racing is not going to be affected by the Speedway that is kilometres that way. And the Dragway, mate, they could still host different things, whether it's drifting in that car park like they do during the week, little markets, night markets, all sorts of stuff. But I just think you could really make like they used to have the Winfield 321 back in the day. And it used to be drag racing, motorbikes, and supercars. And I feel like you could nearly recreate that sort of an event with those three complexes all involved. And yeah, they like Sydney sort of did it with the supercars that weekend that the supercars were on. They did the Speedway on the Saturday night. No, they did the Speedway on a Thursday night, wasn't it? So that was cool, but I really think you could get it like a big event pumping, using those Friday nights as well as the Saturdays. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't really been to sort of your tracks like your Toowoomba and stuff like that. But from what I've heard about some of those other tracks, there is a lot of camping sort of facilities available and stuff like that. Because that's the other thing you got to weigh up is a lot of people that do go to these type of events can't really afford hotels, motels. And unfortunately, in today's world, hotels and motels, as soon as they know there's a big event on, their prices get hiked up and you struggle to get anything. But yeah, I think Friday nights would be a killer idea for a lot of tracks.
Bro, I think you've hit the nail on the head. Let's be real. We live in Sydney. When there's no rugby league on, which is the dominant sport, let's say, and the cricket finishes by whatever, let's say they did a Friday night show, only sprint cars, right? Started the mofo at 7, finished at 10:30. You can't tell me you can't get a proper sprint car event in 3 hours. What are you doing? Like, you know, high limit, do it. In America, your model's there. Your bloody model's there. And you can't tell me if you did a deal, $30 a ticket a night, 2 for 60 or 1 for 40 or 25, 50, but I don't know, whatever, try to do a deal. But if not, some people might say, I've got something on Saturday night, damn it. But there's Friday night racing. The complex, like you said, Binny, there's always night shows on. There's always something happening at the drags. Once it becomes a thing, then it's a thing. I get it's hard to start, but, bro, I've been to the drags on a Wednesday night. I don't know why. I went. My brother took me, but I was like, okay. But people are invested. They go there. The racers want to race. Yeah, the crowd will be good, but if you're getting pay-per-view live streams, people having drink-ups and barbecues on a Friday night, like, maybe you're right there, Benny. Maybe Friday might be a go, but it's got to be a quick show, though. people get there after work. They got kids in the morning with sport, maybe cricket or softball, baseball, athletics, whatever their summer sports. But teams there for 2 nights, or you don't even do a Saturday night. Run your normal show for your other divisions on Saturday, but do it and promote it as 3 hours. Like, show people it can be quick. Because you can get here after work. The Sydney traffic shithole. So let's say 7:30 start, 3 hours, 10:30 finish. Like, boom. I mean, let's just give us the keys. Give us a go. Let us run the place, bro. Like, no, I'm joking. Stuff that I could not want to do that. After what I've seen, I'm not running a speedway anytime fucking soon.
Like, the Motorplex just did their Fast Fridays event, and I wish there was more. Honestly, if the Motorplex said once a fortnight we're doing a Fast Friday, just like, it gets people out. Like you said, a lot of people got kids sports, they got kids footy, they got family events. But if they go, we can go do a family, like, I don't know, what do you call it? Family nights? I don't know. You do one of them, and it's like, we're going to take the kids to the Speedway because it's buy 2 adult tickets, get 2, like, your kids get in free or whatever, and you get a free meal or something. I don't know. You do something stupid, like,
I would be frothing as a kid if I knew I could go to school on Friday and go to Speedway tonight. And not have to wait to say.
Dude,
Can you imagine? You tell your mates, we're going to Speedway tonight. Are you coming? Come with me, bro.
Exactly.
Sleep over my house tonight. There's no school tomorrow.
And that's the thing. It's free advertising. Even when you're at work with your mates, you're like, I'm going it's a Friday. You're like, what are you doing? The first thing everyone says to each other on a Friday, what are you doing tonight? What are you doing this weekend? I'm going to Speedway. Oh, what? There's Speedway on? Bang. There's another whoops. There's another 3 people through the door.
I know another thing. More people might get on their beers, spend some money, because I don't have to work tomorrow. No, get an Uber.
And this is why.
How easy is it to get an Uber there? It's pretty easy in Sydney, like in the location, Benny? Like, it's really good to get an Uber. Like, it's a great spot for those type of nights too. And I don't know, we're getting real far-fetched here, and the pod's already gone for an hour. We try to do an hour. So, but anyway, give me more Friday night racing. Benny, what's next on the list? Have we got anything else, or are we good?
The only other thing I had on the list was the change to the Australian Sprintcar title up at Toowoomba. Obviously, Supercars released their calendar for next year. And a bit of conflict with the calendar there meant that they have moved it. So can't remember exactly what dates they've moved it to. Cade, you may have that.
Yeah, it is. It's the week or two before in November, so it's they had to change it because we've got the Napa event on, so they're going to run the Napa event at there. I'm just getting it up now, but date change here, guys. So it is it's earlier, so it would be in like 2 weeks from now. So Friday, November 20th. And November 21st, 2026, and there's a rain date on the 22nd in case, on the 22nd of November. So I can't wait. That's a ripper. We're going to see the guy win it early and run it that year. I'm absolutely all for this.
Question, this may not be out yet, but who covers the Australian title? Like, did Night Thunder get that contract or Clay Per View?
Last year, they were supposed to have it because the year before they had it at Warrnambool, and it was like the most viewed Australian thing, sprint car, for a long time. And then they were supposed to have it, and then shit happened again. I'm going to say Toowoomba. Clay Per View won't give that up. Clay Per View is like its home at Toowoomba. I mean, it'd be great for Channel 7. Or even, let's say they played the replay on there. But I do know it's going... I don't know it's going to be on Clay Per View, but I just think the logistics of Clay Per View and Toowoomba's relationship, it's going to be on Clay Per View.
I just know that there's also that sort of crossover, like a lot of media sort of, like commentators and stuff like that sort of cross over and do both. So, I think it's cool, the date change. I can't wait to see it.
But could you imagine right now, Benny, we're how many rounds in? Some guys have only done 5 shows, so they'd have to pick their shit up, and we're having an Australian sprint car title in 2 weeks. So you would have to say right now, after looking at stats, Lockerbie Q and Jock Goodyer would be your clear favourites. Not because they've spent time in America, I mean have just been racing in this country and sending it. And Brock Hallett maybe. Like, you look at that stats, you'd say, well, they're the top guys. Like J-Mac, that's his first show. So what's he going to do next year? Just wait till the Australian title and rock up? Do the old Gary Brazier? Just send it for the Australian title? He could do it, probably. But I'm just saying, like, I think next year you're going to see a lot of teams get on the horse quicker. Like, or like, just be at Toowoomba every first 3 weeks. Like, or we're just going to base the car in Toowoomba before the Australian title. Like, what else are we going to do? Now, this does throw, like, weird stuff into that Napa race. Like, it's 2 weeks before Napa, because I think they did that because then they're still going to try to do these cool shows like Tolma are doing before Napa. But, guys, let's be real as well. We could be seeing a lot more teams on the East Coast early now. Like, I know the Maddington starts, but could you imagine we see, like, Kingshott and Williamson at Toowoomba? Like now. Mega.
Early days.
Mega. I hope their series, they don't, like, string it out, maybe not have something on the 15th and let them come a week early or something for the travel on that. Like, you can't tell me, like, say this week coming, it wasn't an Australian title round, but it was like everyone was there. Mega.
Does this help birth the national series?
Bro, that is not a bad shout. What are your thoughts
Flip
on that,
it.
Benny?
I said it. It's doing it. It's going to help make the national series. And when it becomes a thing, I want royalties, bitches.
Oh, that is so good. Because this legit...
When did it become gangster?
Wait a second. This legit... Ty's right. This legit could be like, all right, guys, we're going to start the national series.
In Perth.
No,
not
that's
Perth.
ludicrous. Maybe, though. And then they come across. Maybe the first round's in Perth. And it can finish in Perth still.
Nah, because you'd get no one show up because they'd go, oh, well, I would go to Perth when I can run a race there and then the Australian title's there a week later.
No,
or whatever, you know what I mean?
Wait a second. There's not going to be a national series next year. Relax. But I'm saying...
No, but they're going to, if they run...
The Australian title, now changing the date, everyone's going to be together quicker than just Classic Week. So you are right. This could be the big movement that
What's the date today?
hope the next person that has the Australian title agrees and keeps the date. Or maybe
4th of November, 2025 at 6:40 WA time. Time stamped.
For it. Binny, he's got something there, don't you think? I think you're more in awe that he's actually said something smart for once about sprint car racing.
Yeah.
It's the shirt. And this is who's going to make it happen.
Toyota?
They will sponsor they are Toyota in general, or Maddington would help jump on board, become a major minor sponsor or whatever.
Mate, you are cooking.
I reckon they'd be so down for it.
Ty, you have maybe earned yourself a polo shirt for that. Like, that's how cooked. How much you just cooked then? You made a whole meal for a family feast right there. You were like 6-7 that shit up. That was good shit. All right, Benny, to finish off.
I feel gross even doing it.
He did it, eh? He was pumped. He was like, and dabbed it as well. You know what I mean? All right. So Benny, you're gonna head out there Friday night. I'm gonna give you the guy's number. Hook it up. But yeah, guys, that's cool. But Kyle Larson, dirt racing wins again. How good is that still? Dirt racing on top. But yeah, guys, big shows this weekend, and then Perth next week again. We're in that cycle. I think we're going to see some ripper fields, and yeah, guys, good episode, I think, and it's good that we can make it work when we're all in different places or whatever. So, well, hopefully it sounds good, and I'll try to get this out as quick as I can over the next few days. So, let's go, eh? 6 6-7.
6-7.